Okay, here we are with Lauri Porra, who's just been playing 2 concerts with UMA Orchestra here in Helsinki. Lauri, thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
Before we talk about your solo projects a little bit more, of course I'd like to hear some Stratovarius related news.
Naturally.
So of course, yeah, would you please tell us something about the new album, which is hopefully on the way from Stratovarius?
Yes, the new album is hopefully on the way. We're still making the songs, so I think actually there will be, because we wanted to release it a bit earlier, but now it will still take a little bit time. Then the album when it's ready, it will be next year. It must be.
As a surprise, there was recently announced that Stratovarius is going on tour in autumn with Tarja, the ex-Nightwish vocalist. Can you tell us what can we expect from this tour?
We still haven't planned on the special things, but yeah, it's a double headlining bill, and it's sort of our tour before the album tour. To be honest, I don't really know yet what we're gonna do, but I hope we're gonna do something also together. Tarja has sometimes sang with us on Forever, for instance. So, but I'm hoping that, of course, we're gonna have a sort of like a regular Stratovarius headlining show, but then at least I hope we're gonna build something special also. But the tour was announced like 2 weeks ago, so even we don't yet know. It's like everything is a little bit on the open, but it's nice to tour with friends. So then, and Tarja for sure is a friend of the band, so I'm very much looking forward to it. Also, we haven't been touring anywhere for years, so it also I'm sort of, suddenly you notice you missed the tour bus.
Yeah, that would kind of be the next question. Do you miss being on tour?
Yeah, especially now, because it's like, when were we on tour? Like almost 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago maybe. So then at this point, after a year, I don't really miss it, but now I miss it.
Okay.
So now it's like, yes, especially because I'm doing so much, all sorts of things. So the idea of going on the road with Stratovarius is something I'm actually really looking forward to at this point.
Very well. Okay, so now let's concentrate on your solo projects a bit more.
Oh.
First of all, please tell us a bit more about this partnership you have with Vantaa Pops Orchestra or Vantaan Videoorkesteri. What's concretely planned?
Basically, Vantaa Pops Orchestra is like there are other pop orchestras also it's a symphony orchestra that does more lighter shows with singers and this kind of things, and they've been around for 70 years now, and they wanted to find some new stuff and new things, sort of look at contemporary entertainment music of today. So I will be building for them. First of all, I will do a new piece for them, which might be a collaboration, in November at their 70th anniversary concert. That's November 19th, I think. And aside from that, I'm talking with them, trying to find some new people for them to work. For instance, I really would like to have them in Tuska at some point, playing, not necessarily with me or Stratovarius, but with somebody. So this is something we're interested in, bringing it to festivals. But for instance, playing with metal bands is something that we are interested in, and this is something where I'm also connected. So I hope we get to do some sort of project like that. There are some names which I cannot tell you at this point.
Very well. In January, you released the classical album Entropia. It was well received among critics and also among listeners. Congratulations to
Thank you very much.
What kind of more classical music can we expect from you in the future?
Well, the November one is one, and then I'm doing another sort of concerto for orchestra and bass, which will be premiered in February, I believe. So that's my next sort of bigger orchestra thing. the the November one and the February one. I'm also doing something. I do a wind quintet, which will be performed in the fall when I'm on road with Stratovarius in Rovaniemi. They will have a couple of performances of that. And then I'm doing this Bach thing with Jonathan Roseman, which is something in between.
Yeah, you've been posting something of that from on your Facebook channel.
Yeah.
Are there plans to release an album with him?
There are. I mean, there's a plan of making album at some point, but we're still sort of looking at who to do it with, and I'm arranging a little bit more songs. So there's a plan that we will do an album hopefully, but there's no concrete timetable yet. So now I'm sort of
project.
Yeah, it's a long-term project, and the whole idea, because it started out sort of like, let's just try something, and then it was good, and now we did it again in another festival, and we have 2 more festivals, or there is 2 more festivals for that project this summer, and I'm writing some more, and I've been recording Jonathan, so at this point we can also ask some record companies and people whether they're interested in it or not. But I really like the project, because I used to be a cello player, so it's like a personal project, and I love working with Jonathan. He's insanely good.
So how's your new solo album coming along? Do you already have all the songs ready and recorded?
I think I have all the songs ready and sort of recorded. I'm adding a little bit of this and that here and there. But like the drums and the guitar and this kind of stuff, that's recorded. Again, I don't know how to release it yet.
So no release date in mind?
No
already.
release.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I hope I hope to release this year, but I don't know yet by whom, so it depends a little bit. I've been playing too much and not doing business enough.
Okay, on Kohta, one of the tracks on Entropia album, you could use the Omniberg, which is a remarkable instrument from your own collection.
Yes.
So do you have any favorite instruments among your collection? Or?
The electric bass. Another one which I like a lot is Gucheng, which is a Chinese zither. But now, with this Bach thing, and I've been playing a little bit more bass now, so now I'm actually really into bass.
Okay. So there's not an instrument which you would like to use more for your own music in the future?
Yeah, there are always. I mean, now I do the piece for wind quintet, so then I have to see that, and then working with a cello player, I'm also getting back into, interesting. It's a little bit like sometimes you have a project. I would like to do a double electric guitar concerto, for instance, which hopefully I get to do. Like sometimes I get interested in an instrument, and then I try to get somebody interested in commissioning a piece or something. How I work with the different projects is that I have a lot of ideas, and then I present them to all sorts of people, whether they want to do it or not. For instance, this double guitar concerto nobody has been wanting to do for 3 years, so now it's sort of waiting. And whenever somebody's interested, then I'll do it. Somebody who has a symphony orchestra, for instance.
Okay, we all know about your main influences like Bach or Hans Zimmer or Cliff Burton, for example, but are there any current artists you find inspiring, or some you'd like to collaborate with once?
Hard to say. I listen to a lot of music, and I'm listening to a lot of contemporary classical now, and electronic music, and rock music, and I listen to. It's hard to say. Sometimes there's an album I like, but now I'm writing so much, I don't have so much time to listen. So unfortunately, I cannot give you a name. But I'm listening to a lot of moods. Well, this Johan Johansson, who unfortunately passed away just now, so him I've been listening a lot to.
Do you still buy physical CDs or vinyls?
Yes. not so much.
Yeah.
Sometimes I buy like when I go to a concert, I will buy the CD of the artist if I like it, just for support. But I mostly listen to music digitally.
Do you still find the time for hobbies? Is there something you'd love to spend more time for?
Music. Everything is sort of intertwined. You know, I travel and I take a walk in the nature. I don't know what would be like a hobby. So.
Okay, so we're coming to the final question, which is maybe a bit unusual. We'd like to know what's likely to make you happy in life, but maybe you already answered that.
You know, happiness comes in, you know, I just had a show which I enjoyed a lot, so then I was very happy. I think happiness comes in you know, when I relax, then I'm happy. I'm doing so many things, so then I'm not always relaxing. So when I relax, then I'm happy.
All right, so we're at the end of the interview now. Thank you very, very much for taking the time, Lauri.
Thank you very much.
And all the best for the future.
Yes. Also to you and all of you in Videoland.